Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and we got another episode recap of Love Island Season 3, Episode 7. So, before we unpack this episode, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like this video, smash that like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. So, without further ado, let's talk about this drama. So, as I said in this particular episode, because we kind of left off where pretty much Cinco had made his decision. And his decision, of course, was Trina. And honestly, I don't know how long this is going to last. Now, that's just my opinion. But I've always heard when stuff starts off on BS, usually it ends up in BS, right? So this whole thing kind of went awry because one thing that he was definitely, what he didn't do was be pretty much 100% transparent up front, because he said he was going to make a decision about Trina and then let Cashay know. But he made the decision with Trina and didn't say anything. Now, some people said, hey, it's his choice how he want to handle it. Other folks say that, nah, he should have been transparent. But the crazy thing about all this is that when he told Trina decided to go and tell some of the other girls in the villa before they even had a conversation about it. See, and that's where, Cinco went wrong, is that he should have made that abundantly clear to Cash, and then went to Trina and said, okay, I talked with her. I let her know where I stand. Now I want to pursue you and move forward. No, you dropped that bombshell on Trina first. She go run and tell the other girls in the villa. And of course, they're snickering and laughing, and that looked low-key disrespectful. I mean, honestly, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's the biggest thing that's going on with Cash, is that she's upset on how this whole thing is handled. Now, granted, is Trina happy about how all this transpired? She got the man that she really wanted. Okay, fine. But it's how you handle it. Now, we did kind of hear Shannon make some form of a statement saying that it's not Trina's conversation to have. This is, Cinco's conversation to have. And honestly, I pretty much agree with that. Because they were the one already coupled up. He was coupled up with Cashay, and that's where that conversation should have started first. And if I was Trina, I would have like, you know what? Before you make any decision with me, whatever decision it involves, you need to talk to Cash first. Let her know what's up. And then come to me and say, okay, fine, I've cleared the air, I've cleared the pathway, we can go ahead and, take these steps together. He didn't do that. So it looked disrespectful. And I know he was thinking about it. Who knows what his intentions was? Now, there was a theory here about the fact that he was fearful on telling her or breaking the news to her. And then the way that they kind of acted when Cash walked away, I don't know. That was so weird. I just, it didn't sit well with me. But, hey, again, this is a game show. You got to figure out who you're going to go the long haul with to get to the end, either to, of course, be in a relationship or win that $100,000, right? But I can understand, a lot what Cash was saying here. I mean, this could have been handled way, way, way better, because, for the way that they frolicked around, especially, I just did not like the fact of, Trina having that conversation with the other girls. I mean, to me, if Cinco would think about that, it's like, okay, everything we do, you're going to go run tell your girls. And I mean, granted, We have conversations, but at least allow him the room if he, especially since he didn't do it already, allow him the room to say, you know what, before I say anything to anybody else, go clean that up over there. Go over there and talk to, to Cash. However, there's another girl in the villa, Layanne. Layanne also have her sights on Cinco. And so we got to talk about that a little bit later, because this whole triangle looks like it's about to become a square, as that was predicted yesterday. But we do see Cash now being asked by Cinco to have a conversation, and Cash is not having it. She's not feeling it. It's like, you won't talk to me now? You done went and made it clear to Trina, but I'm the one that you was coupled up with, and you won't talk to me now. And that made him feel some kind of way, because he's like, I never seen her in this state. Well, maybe if you think about what led to this point, maybe that's would give you your answer. But, then he goes back and he talks to Trina about the fact that Cash isn't talking to him, and I didn't expect her to act like that, and blah blah blah, and so it is what it is. Honestly, I don't even see chemistry with him and Trina. That's just me. If it's not Cash, I actually see a little bit more with Layanne and Cinco than I see with Cinco and Trina. Okay? So Trina tries to track her down. Now, granted, Cinco wasn't able to get her to talk. So now Trina tracks down Cash to get her to talk. And she finally put it out there, letting, Trina know, look, this was disrespectful. How this whole situation was handled. He was over there before then, kissing on me, telling me he made up his mind and all of this. And then he goes and tells you what decision he wants to make, which is to move forward. And she's like, that's fine, but it's how you do it. It's how you do it. And she felt blindsided by that. She said that she felt like she was the side chick in this situation. Now, I don't know if I would go that far, because he wasn't dating both of them at the same time. Did he have an interest in Trina? Yeah. But it wasn't like he was actively dating both of them at the same time. So I don't know if I agree. Personally, I agree with that. But she felt some kind of way, and he was talking to the guys as well, letting them know, like, man, I've never seen her like this. This is something new to me. Sometimes, hey, good emotions and good energy bring one thing. Bad emotions and bad energy bring another thing. But it was just how this was handled. And Trina has some culpability in this, because she ran and told those other girls. So, of course, it gets around the entire villa. She's pretty much the last one to know that, Cinco is moving out of their coupling to be with this other girl. So I can totally understand that. Totally, totally, totally. So now we have this whole conversation with Layanne, because Layanne is like, look, I understand that you in a coupling with Cashay and whatnot, and you got an interest in Trina too. I want to know if you're interested in me, so I can make this whole thing a square. And I'm like, I don't know if I mean, listen, Cinco is a handsome guy. He's definitely seemed to be a little bit of a thinker, and, or whatever. And I don't want to claim him as a player yet. Do I think he's playing the game? Absolutely. But I don't know if I want to get that whole player mentality. He's playing the game. This is a game show. He decides finally to try to figure this thing out even more and have a conversation with Cash. And, he was like, can we talk now? Are you now available to talk to me? And she finally put it out there. She was like, you know what? Yeah, let's talk. And she said, I don't like the fact that earlier yesterday, you were telling me and kissing on me that you made a decision, and then you turn around and make a decision to move forward with Trina. Didn't tell me anything. It would have been okay, but you could at least gave me a heads up. And then now Trina knows. She goes and tell everybody in the villa, and I'm looking crazy. That's what this all comes down to. And he was like, well, is it my turn? Can I get my word in? And she was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so his statement to this was, I didn't mean for this to go this way. I'm looking for all this drama. I just, was afraid I was going to hurt you. And she said, you know what? You hurt me more by being too afraid to just come and tell me. And that makes sense, because if you tiptoe around with that energy and the way he did that, it's going to make the situation worse. So she was hurt even more. And he was like, okay, fine, I understand. Can we just be friends? And she was like, no, I'm not looking for that. I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, nah, no, we gonna be cordial, but I'm done. She's done. And so he was like, all right, cool. Well, take care. So she's not finna play with him. She's not gonna do that back and forth. That door that was once open to Cinco is now closed to Cashay. So he decided to say, okay, well, that's said and done. Let me go over here and get cuddly with Trina. And I've seen the comments on social media. Some people, of course, saying that she's second choice and, you should be the first priority. Unless you pick somebody on day one, if you are picked after that on this television show, you're not going to be number one. So there was a text that came in that the new girls, Florita, Roxy, and, Cheyenne, pick one guy to go on a date with. And of course, we saw Leanne definitely pick Cinco. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. Let's see where this is going to go. And he was definitely here for it too. The conversation, like I said, I see a little bit of chemistry. They look good together. I see that they could build some chemistry if they're into it. And the interesting thing is, while that going, Jeremy is trying to console Cashay. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't know. Jeremy is just like non-existent in this show. I hardly ever see or hear him. He has a bland storyline, but he was there long enough to give Cashay some consoling. But back to the whole date with Cinco and with Leanne. She's definitely interested. He's definitely interested. He was like, you know what? I want to take that time to get to know you more. I find you attractive. And she's definitely made her intent known. I actually see them as a better couple, honestly, myself, than I do with him being with Trina. That's just me. Let me know what you think. But I actually like these two together. She's a lot more relaxed. He seemed to have that same type of energy, that relaxed energy. So in the meantime, while they was on dates, because Shannon's guy, Josh, was also on a date with, I think that was Florita. Both Shannon and Trina is sitting around talking about, oh, I'm not worried. Oh, we good. They not leaving us. They think they got their position with both Cinco and Josh in the bag. Look at us. She's sitting there talking about, look at us. They ain't going to leave this here. And I'm looking at them like, okay, do you know what show you on? Because anybody can come in at any given minute. And remember, we got Casa Amora coming down the road. Anything is subject to change. So don't get too comfortable, with thinking that your position is in the bag with these two guys. Because the interesting thing about all of this is what the guys said on these dates, while these two girls, both Shannon and Trina, are thinking like, oh yeah, I'm not worried. They ain't going nowhere. Yeah, okay. Keep thinking that. Because on those dates, we got to hear the conversation with Florita and Josh. And Josh is like, you know what? Yeah, I have a connection with Shannon. We good for right now, but we also said to each other that we're open to new people that come into the house or the villa. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Because look like Shannon is like, no, we're booed up. And Josh is saying something different. And as for these two, they actually want to talk a little bit more and explore each other as well. So, like I said, anything is subject to change because new people bring in new energy, bring in new connections. But like I said, I like Leanne and Cinco together. I want to kind of see where that go over the whole Trina situation. But, she want to make this thing a square. She want to jump right in the middle of this whole set of drama. I don't know. We'll see what happened. And then Josh is going to have something to answer to because of what he said to Florita. And my thing is, of course, when he goes and tell Trina how his date was, which we're not going to get 100% of the story. So, of course, the girls are talking about their dates, the three young ladies that went out. And they're all excited because they thinking that they got their foot in the door. And these guys are saying the same thing. Well, Trina has a conversation with Cinco, and Cinco was like, oh no, I told her, that I'm pursuing a relationship with you and that we're all good. And I'm like, okay, but are you going to tell her about what you said about, hey, I find you attractive and I would like to continue to get to know you? Yeah, that part of the conversation did not come up with Cinco and Trina when it came to Miss Leanne. And so my question is, Cinco, how you gonna do the same thing this in round 2? We'll definitely see. And then this whole conversation with Shannon and Josh is like, yeah, I was on our date and I told her straight up that me and you, we have this deep connection and that we're all good. And, and I'm like, Josh, did you not just tell that girl that you find her attractive, that you're open because you said that both you and Shannon are open to people coming in to the villa to explore new options? You said that, but you didn't tell Shannon that when you came back. Y'all just all hugged up and she think like, oh yeah, I got my man. Oh yeah, we solid. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. It would be, I should say, interesting to see if she saw that play back because she wasn't on that date. So I can see this whole thing imploding really quickly. So then we had this whole situation with this challenge with what's in the box. And so Corey has an opportunity with Florida as well. And actually, they have a vibe. I actually like Florita with Corey. Corey right now doesn't have a connection with anyone. And then we also saw in this same challenge because Cashay got that box as well. And who did she choose to go have a passionate kiss in the villa? She chose Isaiah. And I was like, okay, let's see what we can get from this, if they got any chemistry. Man, he turned her around, pulled her to the side, and planted that kiss on her. And you talking about hot, steamy, passionate kissing that they was doing. I mean, he picked her up. Oh my God, guys. I don't know if some of my viewers are able to watch Love Island USA, but this scene was hot because I know some of you guys are in other countries and can't get CBS, but you had to be there to see it. So I tried to get as many good shots as I could, but yeah, it was hot. Cashay was smiling from ear to ear. She definitely saw a whole new opportunity with Mr. Isaiah. And here's the thing. Isaiah also had one of those dates with the new girl as well, which was Roxy. And he was talking that with her. So even though I'm interested in seeing this here, the question is she getting involved in another throuple, as she said, because Roxy is in the mixture with this whole thing. So again, I'm feeling the whole connection between Corey and Florita. And I like to definitely see where that goes. You know, I don't know. Let me know what you think. He needs somebody. He definitely needs somebody to, see if he can find a love connection with. Because right now, he's just floating through time. I mean, just like Jeremy. We don't even see much of Jeremy. And Olivia either. Where's Olivia? So unless somebody come in and give her a new storyline or something to chew on, her and Jeremy is just going to be floating through time. And in the meantime, we didn't see a lot of Amy either. On the flip side, I'm also interested in seeing where this can go. The problem is where that's going to leave Roxanne, and if Cash is getting involved into a whole nother throuple when it comes to, Roxy and Isaiah. Now, in this whole conversation here, they're definitely trying to figure out a way to couple up. They're talking about how interested that they are in each other. And the crazy thing is Cash says she was interested in him from the first time he walked through the door. And I'm like, were you? Because she was sold up into Cinco. So I don't know about that. I'm like, okay, I might have to get a side eye on that statement. Because for her to say, oh, yeah, I was attracted to you and want to get to know you since you came into the villa. Yeah, we didn't get to see that. So unless that was edited out or something, I didn't even think that Isaiah was on Cashay's radar. So let me know what you think about this possible new coupling. Do you think it's a hot couple or not a hot couple? I would like to see where it goes just to get her out of that whole atmosphere with Cinco and Trina and now Leyanne. Kind of want to get her away from that. And maybe, just maybe, after this whole kiss, it was a wake-up call for Isaiah. But the problem is, I don't think Roxy is going to give up too easily. So they're definitely going to have to look out for that. So I'm glad, Cashay is out of that whole Cinco thing. I honestly think she had a lot of valid points. Cinco should have definitely spoke to her and let her know what his next moves was. Trina shouldn't have broadcasted that across the whole, spectrum of the villa. And we'll definitely see what happened with these couples in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and drop your comments and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.